Africa.
Welcome to KwaZulu-Natal. Welcome to Durban.
And why have I come to South Africa? I've come here because I want to learn about singing in schools here. And I think that singing is in the blood of these people, and we need to learn how well they do it.
Every now and then, we're looking for a friend. Who'll never let us down. Because we love him.
Nice and loud, Wandile.
We're looking for that one. Who'll never leave us lying. On the floor like dirt. Because we gonna need a friend.
Oh my word. Okay. Did you make up that song yourself?
Yes, sir.
Oh my word. When did you write that song?
I did it when you said that we must write songs for homework.
Okay, so you wrote that song at home, and now you've just taught us, like, bit by bit, the song that you've just written.
Yes,
That
sir.
is beautiful. Let's give Wandile a big hand.
Two observations on the class that I saw you teaching. First was the sophistication of the rhythms that the children were clapping when it was them who was deciding how to clap. I thought that was very, it was very complicated what they were doing compared to what we might expect from children in the UK. And the second thing was, Luandile, the boy who sang his song, his own composition, that seemed to me to be, for his age, really rather remarkable, and I wonder whether actually that's quite normal here, or whether he is exceptional.
It has a lot to do with the way that we teach. You know, I teach specifically, my goal is to draw out that musical creativity inside of them. I believe every single human being has a capacity to create music inside of them. A lot of teachers and music teachers would not believe that, but we're still sort of imparting information as opposed to facilitating for the release of creativity. And I think we need both. We need creativity and we need structure, but I believe there's a lot latent that we need to tap into inside every single child. The first part of your question about the complex rhythms, I would say, is from a Western point of view, those rhythms are complex. But in Africa and in the land of the drum, and in India, you know, what's complex for us is not necessarily for them.
And what do they respond to most? I mean, you know, is it singing? Is it singing with movement? Is it improvisation? What aspects of the music teaching that you do with them do they really latch onto most?
I'd say the combination and variety. I think keeping their attention is always the challenge with teaching, and so I'd say a mixed bag of all of those things. Keeping them active, I think, is key as well, and that's why the antiphonal stuff works. Competitions always help, you know, either boys against girls or mixed groups, but you know, then they really concentrate because nobody wants to sort of let the team down.
And what techniques would you use to get boys engaged with singing, for example?
Well, the rhythmic side, I do use. Also, like that go gum zimba sala wentlizio, that Johnny Clegg low thing, you know. I think, you know, I tell them, you know, soon your voice is going to break and you're going to be singing low, you know, the bass, and I try to make it relevant and real for their lives.
So the day closes at Addington Primary School, and what's my overall impression? Well, my overall impression is that these children are musically irrepressible, and in particular, they cannot stop singing. And that spirit, I think, is something obviously that comes from their background and who they are, but it also comes from an environment where they are allowed to express themselves and they are allowed to sing. And in talking to the children themselves, it struck me that they actually think that all children should sing. However good their voice, however confident they may feel, they want everybody to join in. They think it's very important for someone to sing. So it isn't just adults saying, you ought to be singing, you ought to be doing music. It's the children themselves who value it. Day 2 of my journey, and I was going to a very different type of school. R.A. Padiachi Primary School in the village of Umhlali, about 40 kilometres north of Durban. It's a very socially deprived area where it struck me forcefully just how devastating the HIV pandemic had become across large parts of Africa. Every day in this small community school, a child loses a relative. Unsurprisingly, the school has very few resources and no music specialist. If they want instruments, they make their own. So what can they teach us in the UK about singing? Hello.
Nice to meet you. What a privilege to have you for the third time.
The head teacher, Mrs. Reddy, wanted me to see a life orientation lesson. It's similar to PSHE in the UK and aims to give children the skills, knowledge and values to prepare them for adulthood. The songs they use in these classes, though, aren't about chocolate, football or the wheels on the bus going round and round.
Today I have a very exciting lesson, boys and girls, for you, and I hope you will all enjoy it. Can Clementine come in front, please? Can I also call one boy? Rapunzel, come in front, please. Okay. Tell me, if they want to remain like this for the rest of their life or until they become 21 years old, how should they behave? Tell me all the things that they have to do and they are not allowed to do as young boys and girls. Victor?
They must take care of themselves, ma'am. Must respect of the school rules. They must take care of themselves. Then, after when they're 21 years old, they finish this matric, they must get married or one must get a job.
I think we should give him a big round of applause, isn't it? Very good. He said they must take care of themselves, they must finish their education, isn't it? And every time life orientation teaches us about behaving ourselves as boys and as girls, isn't it? We should not do things that we are not supposed to do. We should not be getting a mix-up with the boys and girls, isn't it? And having sex with boys and girls, isn't it? And now we are going to receive a message from our Zulu dance group. And the message is about who? A big man, isn't it? Yeah. What he wants from a young girl. First, he wants a hand. The girl gives the man a hand, isn't it? Yeah. And second, he wants what? The whole arm. She gives it. And next, what he wants? The breast, isn't it? Yeah. She gives it. And the next, what he wants? He wants sex, isn't it? Then what happens? She says, no, forget it. You will never get what? And all that message will come from these Zulu dance girls. I want you to listen and sing and dance with them, enjoy with them. It's over to you, girls.
There was something spellbinding about the way these children sang and danced. They perform with an energy and abandon that is so full of freedom and joyous physicality that it seems at odds with the terrible limitations of poverty that blight their lives. Maybe people who live in the shadow of death understand life better than everyone else. A short interlude with Padiachi's own boy band followed, and then it was the boys' turn at singing. This song talks about the AIDS pandemic. One of the lines says, "We ask you, brother who has this disease, to disclose your status in the community and look after yourself." It's a very serious message, but it's not an adult giving a lecture, it's young people singing.
uyacela wemfowethu uziphathe kahle ungasandisi qhubeka ulungele ubambe iqhaza sinqobele isifo qhubeka ulungele ubambe iqhaza sinqobele isifo qhubeka ulungele ubambe iqhaza sinqobele isifo ngicela ungiqhelele nangicula sungibekezeleli wena ngicela ungiqhelele wena ngicela ungiqhelele
Every class at the school wanted to perform for me. Singing at Pariachi seems to serve many purposes, and I wanted to talk to the teacher, Nelly, about it. Nelly, why do you use songs in the teaching of social and moral issues?
Yes, in fact, I'm very happy you have asked that question. I feel it has to do with the community that you live around all the time, and it has to do with the children that you teach. You have to look first at your own school and your own children, who are they and where they come from, their social background. The songs, it helps a lot because if you look at them, at the songs themselves, they are not something that comes from the school you teach from the school syllabus. It's something that really has to do with their community life. And they do these kind of songs at home maybe, and without knowing or realizing that they are teaching them. But to a child's mind now, it's a lesson or whatever message is in that song.
Yes, many of the children who come here are from Zulu backgrounds and they have songs and dances of their own culture. What do you do then for the other children who don't have that background?
You have to ask all of them first, is there anybody who wants to tell us or do a dance, anything you want to do that you like, you enjoy most? It has to do with them. It's about themselves as the young students. So they will learn from each other. Isaac comes with another song, and they all love it. So if you find they all love it, let Isaac teach the whole group. So whether it's a white child or Indian child, they will all enjoy it.
If you have a young person in your class with a particular emotional difficulty they're dealing with, do you have a special way of dealing with that?
Hug her or talk to her and talk nicely and say, listen here, my love, you can trust. I always call them my love. Listen to me, my love. You can trust me. If you got anything, any problem, just tell me what's wrong, what is eating you up, why are you not so happy? Then definitely you end up winning her because you tell her, you promise her, listen here, if it has to do with your house, mommy or dad at home, I will never tell anybody. It's between you and me.
Can you always find a song for an occasion?
Yes, of course, sometimes you find a song for the occasion, but that song, it must never be a song that will make a child feel sad, more sad like, it must be something to make her overcome the situation, make her happy, feel, feel healed inside, yes. It must be a healing song.